Genesis 35. This chapter ties up a lot of loose ends to stories we've been hearing. You won't be satisfied, but at least a lot of the main characters will be dead. Oh, and one of Jacob's sons is going to sleep with Jacob's mistress. Because this is the Bible. Then God said to Jacob, "Go up to Bethel and settle there, and build an altar there to God, who appeared to you when you were fleeing from your brother Esau." God said to Jacob, "Build an altar to me, I mean God." Unless he's referring to another God, which, as Christianity keeps reminding me, he is not doing. So Jacob said to his household, and to all who were with him, "Get rid of the foreign gods you have with you, and purify yourselves, and change your clothes. Then come, let us go up to Bethel, where I will build an altar to God, who answered me in the day of my distress, and who has been with me wherever I have gone." So they gave Jacob all the foreign gods they had, and the rings in their ears, and Jacob buried them under the oak at Shechem. Then they set out, and the terror of God fell on the towns all around them, so that no one pursued them. There was another genocide at the end there. We're just glossing over it completely. What does that even mean, the terror of God? Did he use sulfur? Evaporate everyone? Make them listen to another genealogy? Anyway, give me your foreign gods? I mean, I assume he means idols, but how are those threats to the real God? And what do earrings have to do with this? Somewhere in Shechem, buried under a tree, must be a pile of earrings and a bunch of pissed off mini-gods. I am amazed by how those other tribes need to be destroyed by the terror of God, but the foreign gods just have to be buried under a tree. Roots are too much of a match for those false deities. The true God isn't that powerful either. He can kill anyone he wants to. But I guess he can't see buried gods under an oak. Even without those idol gods, Jacob has to specify that his altar is meant for the God who answered him in his day of distress. And I guess not those other gods who just hang out in a club somewhere. How many gods are we choosing from here? Jacob and all the people with him came to Luz, that is Bethel, in the land of Canaan. There he built an altar, and he called the place El Bethel, because it was there that God revealed himself to him when he was fleeing from his brother. So this is where he once dreamed of a ladder. El Bethel. He named the place the Bethel. Actually, El Bethel means God of Bethel, which again minimizes God. Like, he is the God of these 2 square feet right here. Now Deborah, Rebecca's nurse, died and was buried under the oak outside Bethel. So it was named Allen Backeth. Rebecca had a nurse? I mean, I thought they had God on their side, but okay. And it's kind of amazing that this woman is named, and we learn specifically about her death, yet we know literally nothing about her life. But at least she was buried under an oak tree. Everything good is buried under oak. Earrings, gods, random women we just met. After Jacob returned from Padan Aram, God appeared to him again and blessed him. God said to him, "Your name is Jacob, but you will no longer be called Jacob. Your name will be Israel." So he named him Israel. I'm experiencing deja vu. Anyone else? Did God get amnesia because he has done this before? At least they didn't wrestle. You know, the last time God said Jacob's new name is Israel, we forgot about it by the next sentence. What will happen this time around? And God said to him, "I am God Almighty. Be fruitful and increase in number. A nation and a community of nations will come from you, and kings will be among your descendants. The land I gave to Abraham and Isaac, I also give to you, and I will give this land to your descendants after you." Then God went up from him at the place where he had talked with him. It's the same story he told Abraham and Isaac. He's just repeating himself. And honestly, he's a little late. Do you know how many kids Jacob has already? He is all descendanted out. And God went up from him? How? Did he fly? Did he use a ladder? Jacob set up a stone pillar at the place where God had talked with him, and he poured out a drink offering on it. He also poured oil on it. Jacob called the place where God had talked with him Bethel. At this point, I'm pretty sure we are surrounded by altars. That is all these people do. No internet, no Starbucks, just building altars to God. Why are we renaming this place Bethel? We did that already in chapter 28. Who unnamed it? And look at that. Even the Bible is calling him Jacob again. No one wants to call this guy Israel. By the way, spoiler, God's gonna call him Jacob again in chapter 46. Then they moved on from Bethel. While they were still some distance from Ephrath, Rachel began to give birth and had great difficulty. And as she was having great difficulty in childbirth, the midwife said to her, "Don't despair, for you have another son." As she breathed her last, for she was dying, she named her son Ben-Oni. But his father named him Benjamin. Another kid, Rachel? Another one? The competition is over. Her dying wish was to name her son Ben-Oni, and Jacob was like, nah. How come when Jacob renames the son Benjamin, it sticks, but when God renames Jacob, it fails miserably? What sort of advice was that from the midwife? I know you're struggling with these labor pains, but relax, it's a boy. It's worth it. If it was a girl, screw it, but I see a future circumcision, so push harder. So Rachel died and was buried on the way to Ephrath, that is, Bethlehem. Over her tomb, Jacob set up a pillar, and to this day, that pillar marks Rachel's tomb. Another pillar! I'm surprised there's even room for another one at this point. And to this day, it's still there? Really? Pretty sure that one did not age well. Israel moved on again and pitched his tent beyond Migdal Eder. While Israel was living in that region, Reuben went in and slept with his father's concubine Bilhah, and Israel heard of it. Jacob had 12 sons. Wait. Now we're calling him Israel? Must be a new author. And also, ew! Jacob's son is sleeping with Jacob's concubine? Of all the things passed down from father to son, a slave mistress is not supposed to be one of them. And what is Jacob's, or should I say Israel's, reaction to that? I don't know. I'm asking you because we never find out. You know, Reuben is not married to Bilhah, so you could say sleeping with her is a cardinal sin. In fact, in the last chapter, Simeon and Levi murdered everyone in their city because their sister had been defiled before marriage. So what are they going to do to Reuben or their new city? Anything? Nope. We are just getting a rundown of all the kids in this family. The sons of Leah: Reuben, the firstborn of Jacob; Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, and Zebulun. The sons of Rachel: Joseph and Benjamin. The sons of Rachel's servant Bilhah: Dan and Naphtali. The sons of Leah's servant Zilpah: Gad and Asher. These were the sons of Jacob, who were born to him in Padan Aram. Final score, Leah wins with 6 boys. But remember, she also gave birth to a daughter, Dinah, who just had an entire chapter about her, but even now she doesn't get name-checked by the Bible people. Jacob came home to his father Isaac in Mamre, near Kiriath Arba, that is, Hebron, where Abraham and Isaac had stayed. Isaac lived 180 years. Then he breathed his last and died, and was gathered to his people, old and full of years. And his sons, Esau and Jacob, buried him. Is anyone still surprised Isaac is still alive? Genesis 27 opened up with the words, "When Isaac was old and his eyes were so weak." He was old then, but he's still around now. So what are the big takeaways here? We finally narrowed down the number of gods we care about. God can't see underneath trees. He'll just randomly genocide cities if it'll protect his chosen people. Jacob gets renamed Israel, again. And Leah is the champion when it comes to baby making. I know it seems like everything is coming to an end, but Genesis is far from over.